Great spiritual teachers. The 20th question I've been asked in a research project on Gurukula and spiritual tradition in South Asia was, what does come to your mind reading the following names? Jesus, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Yogananda, Shankaracharya, Sri Nishchalananda Saraswati, Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, Ramakrishna, Paramahamsa. These are all great spiritual teachers, and they have done a lot to spread spiritual knowledge. Jesus, the founder of Christianity, in my opinion, he also taught Vedanta. He said, I and my Father are one. The kingdom of heaven is inside you. You are in me, I am in you. So in my opinion, Jesus, as an avatar of the divine, taught Vedanta and spiritual knowledge. Of course, there are so many different points of view how you can see Jesus Christ, and they all have their value. So I have high respect for Jesus. Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was so important for the rejuvenation of yoga and Vedanta. Probably without Swami Vivekananda, yoga and Vedanta wouldn't exist today as they are in that strength and growing. So Swami Vivekananda, very important teacher. He realized the truth and he taught the truth in a way that modern people, or people who were modern around 1900, could relate to it. So very important, charismatic speaker, teacher, and also realized saint. Swami Yogananda was an important saint. He's from the Self-Realization Fellowship, and he made sure that also the esoteric teachings of yoga are spread. He taught the Kriya Yoga. It's the same Vedantic tradition, and the Self-Realization Fellowship and the different traditions of Paramahamsa Yogananda. They have the Vedantic scripture, the Yoga Sutra, Bhagavad Gita. So the same scriptures are important. Well, there wasn't the same Hatha Yoga. But the Kriya Yoga basically is a kind of Kundalini Yoga. We can be grateful to Swami Vivekananda, to Swami Yogananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda, that he also gave that esoteric teaching of the Kundalini Yoga tradition. Of course, Shankaracharya, the very great Vedanta teacher, around 800, he formulated the whole Vedanta system, which is very ancient, which is all formulated in the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, to a very clear system. So Shankaracharya, very important spiritual teacher. Sri Nishchalananda Saraswati, I have to say, I don't know much about him, so I don't say anything about him. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement in the West, propagator of the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, very charismatic teacher, one with very much bhakti, great devotion towards God, one who propagated the chanting, kirtan, and so an important spiritual teacher. I regret a little bit that he defined himself and his tradition very much as separate from the Vedanta movement of Shankaracharya. I enjoy his talks when I listen to them via podcast or video, or when I read his books very much, except when he talks against Advaita. So my point of view is there are different ways to see the divine. There's the Advaita way and the Dvaita way, and we shouldn't fight with each other. We should respect each other. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the great Indian mystics in the 19th century, the guru of Swami Vivekananda, he followed the Vedanta tradition and the Bhakti tradition. He had high devotion towards Shiva, towards Krishna, and towards Rama and the Divine Mother. He had a vision of Jesus Christ, and he also practiced Islam. So Ramakrishna is a very important teacher who taught the oneness of all religions, and in that way very important, and I have high devotion towards Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.